Being home alone should feel gentle, like quiet rain settling on familiar walls. That comfort lasts until silence starts listening back. Tonight, the house reminds me of things I tried to forget. Every tick of the clock stretches like a held breath. I tell myself solitude is safety, a locked door against the world. Yet memory has keys, and it never knocks. Some nights change without warning, slipping sideways into darker shapes. I stand in the hallway, listening to the house breathe. Floorboards complain softly, as if sharing secrets with the dark. Loneliness used to feel spacious, like an empty field at dusk. Now it presses close, warm and watchful. I think about other nights when home stopped feeling like refuge. Two memories circle my thoughts, refusing to stay buried. They begin the same way, with quiet and a false sense of control. By the end, something inside me learns a harder truth. These are moments when being alone becomes something far heavier. Listen closely, because the smallest sounds arrive first. A distant thud, a breath between walls, a pause too long. This is where the night opens and the stories begin. What you're about to hear comes from people who survived long nights like this. They told their stories with shaking hands and careful pauses. Nothing here was imagined to scare someone else. Every detail stayed because it refused to leave them. Both memories start quietly, almost peacefully in ordinary houses, the kind of nights you trust without thinking twice. Then one small moment tilts everything off balance. A sound where no sound should live. A feeling that arrives before any explanation. I want you to know this before we go further. These stories move slowly because fear rarely rushes. It settles in one realization at a time. Stay with me as the tension grows. The house will still look familiar at first. The night will feel normal until it doesn't. I was 19, watching a house while my parents chased warmer weather. It was my first full night completely on my own. The place was familiar, shaped by years of routine and childhood noise. That night, it felt rearranged by something unseen. The rooms stayed quiet, but the silence felt deliberate. Lights stayed low, casting long shadows across framed family photos. Outside, the neighborhood rested, unchanged and unaware. I told myself this was how independence was supposed to begin. I cooked dinner, locked doors, checked windows twice. Every normal action felt heavier without witnesses. Around midnight, the house shifted its tone. It started with a sound I couldn't place. A dull movement somewhere deep inside the walls. I paused, listening, waiting for it to repeat. It didn't, and that felt worse. I convinced myself old houses make their own noises. Still, something felt newly wrong. When I passed the kitchen, a chair sat slightly angled outward. I knew how I left it earlier. At the time, it felt harmless, almost forgettable. I told myself memory plays tricks in low light. I straightened the chair and moved on. That small choice followed me for years afterward. The noises returned, closer now, repeating with careful patience. Footsteps without rhythm crossed the ceiling above me. I stood still, listening to my own heartbeat argue with reason. Each sound made the house feel smaller. I checked my phone, pretending normal life still existed elsewhere. The feeling of being watched pressed against my back. I laughed quietly, trying to shame my fear into silence. Maybe exhaustion was rewriting ordinary sounds. Maybe loneliness was inventing company. Then the footsteps stopped all at once. The sudden quiet felt louder than anything before. I asked myself a question I still hear today. Would you investigate or stay exactly where you are? I took one step toward the hallway. That's when the truth made itself known. A slow exhale came from behind the bedroom door. The house fell completely silent afterward. No pipes, no settling wood, no night sounds outside. Just awareness, sharp and undeniable. I ran for the front door without looking back. Lights exploded on as a car pulled into the driveway. To this day, they don't know how long someone had been inside the house.